All right, so Yeat just shared a new snippet featuring Uzi. I don't want to get copyrighted, but Traveler Ross, he actually made a good point about Yeat is talked about so much, and maybe it's just because it's a very hyper concentrated fan base, and like I'd say Yeat, Cardi, Uzi, like this lane is full of enthusiasts that like to talk about their artists rather than like, I don't know, other genres, subgenres. But he said that Yeat should be selling more for what he talked about after selling 34K.
Yeah, what was interesting, he made an interesting point, because I feel like a lot of us look at it like, yo, Yeat sold 34K, that's crazy, without much or at all mainstream media push.
Right.
And he's like, well, you know, I hear about Yeat so much that I feel like he should be doing, I hear about him as much as I hear about Carter.
Basically, yeah.
Which, because I'm like, okay.
He's the chosen one.
That's an interesting take. So then, should he be selling more? And then it made me think, I was like, well, I do think he sold a great amount.
That was his first studio album.
The first album and the deluxe. I think the deluxe sold well too. But if this next album sells less than those, then it's like, damn,
we might have to back him up.
Yeah, this might not look like, this might have just been a fad.
He might pull a Sofago.
I don't think he's falling that low.
Yeah.
Those are nightmarish sales.
Before we get into that though, so
I didn't even know we were gonna get into that, but all right.
Well, why not? So, okay. He's dropping apparently like early next year, January 2023, February, whatever. Yeat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think this album is super important to like solidify him. Although I think that this new SoundCloud generation is kind of associated with TikTok, which Yeat owned.
Yeah.
So does he really need mainstream press? And I do feel like, I mean, he just did a Complex interview. He's like getting in with all the big magazines and whatnot.
Well, it just depends on what he wants to become. Like, does he want to become a really big artist? I don't know. Because the thing is, with Cardi, there was always like the appeal. Like, he either had like, he kind of had like the quote unquote mystery appeal, but he had like the swag appeal. They were like, yo, this guy is, he had like some sauce. With Yeat, it's like, what is this guy? Like, he kind of just, he talks, he has like this, like, he kind of talks like in this meme way.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Like, kind of like goofy words, and that's really it. Like, no one's like, yo, that Yeat style. Like, he has like the signature, like, you know, like that.
Like, does anyone actually try to be Yeat?
I don't. Yeah.
When unironically, like everybody wears the mask and like the tonka, whatever, or the turban. Sorry, but like people legit want to be Cardi.
Yes. So yeah. I think maybe the case with that was it comes off too jokey.
I mean, we'll see. I think that depending on features and whatnot, and the song length, because
I think the music is there. I think the music is great.
Because he sold 32K with Life, but it was like an EP versus an album.
Yeah, that's good.
And he was doing, there was a Lyft or Uber, one of them, collaborations.
Because Quavo and Offset sold less than that.
What?
With an album. Yeah, I think they sold like 33K, maybe even 29K.
I just feel like nobody gives a fuck about Migos. Like at this point, they're just kind of RIP Takeoff. But even before that, nobody really was that in tune with them organically. They were just industry pushed.
After a certain point in time, I could agree with that.